now.
Okay,
We're
konnichiwa
live.
again.
Konnichiwa.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yes.
Yes.
So, still in Japan.
Still in Japan.
Though today we're going to talk about Japan and Korea.
Okay, so it's going to be a double header.
Yeah. We're going back. We went back to Korea. So
we did. But we actually went to an island today. Little island, Miyajima.
Miyajima. It's outside of Hiroshima.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, was not affected by the bombing.
No, it was not.
So I think
it was a few miles outside the blast area.
It took us about a half hour to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was beautiful and historic, and I'm so glad that none of it was affected, because it would have been a real tragedy.
Yes, indeed. So Miyajima,
Mm-hmm.
the word being Jima, is Japanese for island.
Like Iwo Jima.
Like Iwo Jima, exactly. So this was Miya.
Yes.
And
it's an island. It's a beautiful little island. It was supposedly some man in medieval times went around all of Japan and decided it was the third most beautiful place in the country.
In the country. So I wouldn't disagree, but I haven't seen the other two, so it's hard to say.
Don't ask us what the other two were.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But I would agree it's stunning. And only 1,400 people live on this island full time. But a lot of people go back and forth. Yes.
So it was a 20-minute ferry ride over. But it's famous for the floating Torii Gate.
Yes.
And we happened to be there during high tide, so it really did look like
that's true.
The gate was floating.
So we got to see it from the ferry, which was great. But then we also got to see it from land. But a lot of people. Ferry was pretty big. Luckily, our tour was early.
Yes.
I think we were there by like 8:30.
Yeah, it was.
So we were one of the first people on the island, which was great.
Well, except for all the school kids on their
that's
holiday.
True.
Well, not a holiday. They were on a field trip.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna do? So we get on the island, and right away we get a warning that there is wildlife present, and that they're not as hesitant around people as maybe they should be.
Yeah, they called them wildlife, but the wildlife in question being the local deer.
Yes.
And
quite brazen.
Oh yeah, I mean they just walk up and try to go in stores, the restaurants.
As we were walking in off the ferry, the guide takes us. She shows us a few things, and then we're walking past some shops that are starting to open. And there's a deer right there trying to get in one of the shops, and he kept pushing her back, and he'd pet her and then send her on her way. But I think she was she was considered a local as well.
Do you remember why they are so considerate to the deer?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, so at this shrine, again being a Shinto shrine, and I think the Japanese have like 8,000 Shinto deities.
Yes.
And deer is a intermediary between the deity and the people. So they're the messengers. They're the messengers of the kami, the deities, and that's why they're not hunted.
Okay.
Now the one deer we were talking about might have been aggressive at one time.
Yeah.
He had his antlers removed, whereas other deers hadn't.
Right.
And we will talk more about this deer.
This brazen little deer soon.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Shinto altar that we saw, the stone one, not the floating one, the stone one, was in place from the 1300s.
Yeah.
And it was one of the largest in Japan, or it is the largest in Japan.
One of the largest. The one of the clan leaders, a daimyo from samurai, built. That was his family shrine in the 1300s. The site as a Shinto shrine went all the way back to the 700s as a site. And being on this island, it kind of controls the waterway into Hiroshima or Hiroshima. And So the whole temple was kind of dedicated to water safety and people being able to get in and out of the harbor and stuff like that. So it was fun.
It used to be that no one was allowed to live there, but they loosened that at some point.
Yeah,
1,000 years ago, maybe.
probably.
Now you cannot die on the island. You can't be buried there.
You can't be buried there. You can die there, but they take you away.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, because it's sacred, so
Yes.
no one can be buried there. Or no one's remains are allowed to stay there. Also, no giving birth on the island. Not allowed.
No birthright citizenship?
Me or Jima.
Hey.
No, sir. No,
Okay,
no.
I missed that. I missed that line.
Ladies have to be taken to the mainland. It's required. It's
Okay.
yes.
I didn't pick up on that little tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
But the shrine was really neat, and we were there during a Shinto festival, so there was traditional dancing and music.
Mm-hmm. The guide said she'd never been there on a day before when the monks were doing their dance, so it was very exciting. If we could have seen it, it would have been even more exciting. There were a lot of children there, and they were all
They had
around.
front
and
row.
God bless them. This is big for them too. So let them have it. We did get to see the monk walk past.
He
So we got to see it.
he finished his dance and was progressing back to the little shelter where the band was, and that was, that was the end of the ceremony. His progression back. So we got
was
him
cool.
in his costume and mask.
I
everything.
even got some of his the other monks helping him to disrobe.
Okay, yeah, it was quite the costume.
Very exciting.
So after we did the tour, we actually had a lot of free time on the island to explore,
Which we love.
the village. Yeah.
The cutest shops you ever saw. So I was jonesing a little bit for the ability to buy anything, So
I think you did okay. Amy got really interested in visiting all the shops.
Oh yeah, I did.
I was I went by and saw the sign for the Miyajima Brewery,
Yes.
and they were open.
No babies, but you can brew beer.
Right. And
The beer was
the
good.
beer was good.
And the labels are so beautiful.
I know. They were tough to get off the bottles,
Yeah.
but we ended up doing 3 beers. One of the other things, in addition to the deer, the island's famous for is lemons. They
Right.
grow these really juicy, flavorful lemons, and they incorporate it into a whole lot of things besides lemonade.
I had a lemon beer.
Yes, you did.
The label has a little Tory gate right in the middle of it. It's really cute. And then we bought 2 others. We actually took them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just carried them back to the ship for.
Well, I had
special treat.
I had a hazy IPA while I was sitting there that was very good. And then we brought back what did we bring back? A pale ale and a red ale for in the room. So we had those in the afternoon when we got back from tours and things.
Yeah.
So they were great. So that was
Yes.
really pretty fun.
So while he was sitting on a bar stool, watching the ladies do their business, pulling the beer and whatnot, I walk down the street and I find a soy sauce
Specialty store. Nothing but soy sauce.
I was in heaven. And they even had little samples that you could taste. So it was a little pump,
Yeah.
and you put it on the back of your hand, and then you lick your
Got to
your
lick
hand.
it.
So they had a really rich oyster one
Yes.
that was thick, so we got that. I got a lemon one, fantastic. And another one I think is citrus. So,
We'll have some interesting soy sauces to try.
Yeah, my little suitcase is getting full of soy sauce.
Boy.
So yes, I even drugged Jeff in there, and we found another one that we liked. So very exciting about the soy sauce. They also had a special cookie on this island, and you could smell it everywhere. And a lot of places they had it exposed so that you could see how
They were making them.
Yeah, exactly, with their machinery and stuff. So They
It was. I don't know if it was a. It was a soft cookie
It was.
with. Now we like the desserts with the red bean paste.
Yeah.
That I prefer the ones where it's just a little bit sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
This one was soft and the inside was
It
kind of
smelled
savory.
better than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we each had one. And we found a little garden with big koi in it and a waterfall. And while I was there, before you were there, I think I drug you back, the owner of the store, he took some cookies to the shrine and offered them up to as an offering.
As an offering. Yeah.
As one does.
It was a beautiful little garden. I sat there and enjoyed. Let's see. Wait. After the cookies, I went and did a whiskey tasting.
Yes.
And
Now
we had
this
some
store,
good-
they had a lot of whiskey.
Yes.
And you did pop for an expensive one.
I
I
did.
was like, wow, okay.
I actually
I
thought
think it was
maybe that was the bottle.
Yeah, it was 3,000 yen,
20
which
bucks.
is $20 for a shot. I will say,
We got a
it was
good shot.
amazing. It was very good whiskey.
We got
and
a
you got
double.
a picture of the bottle,
Yeah.
so we can look for it later.
Look for it while we're in Tokyo. Yes.
Yeah, the whiskey was fantastic.
And then we had some Centauri whiskey that we got to look for.
Yes.
A lot of fun things to look for, and because we bought a whiskey, we got a lesser drink, which could include a beer.
Yeah.
For only 200 yen or
I thought it was
70
100.
cents. Was it 100?
I think it was 100.
Okay.
So yeah, like 70 cents.
70 cents.
Of course we did that. Yes.
So their favorite beer drink is sort of like a German Rattler. It's made with their famous Miyajima lemonade
Yeah.
and beer.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to draft one of those to take with us as we were working our way back to the ferry.
Right. Yeah.
And as we're going, we saw a statue, kind of a goofy, drunken critter. So we put Greedo on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there with my camera, and I have my beer in this hand, and I'm taking the picture. Next thing I know, the deer we told you about earlier comes and takes the beer right out of my hand.
I'm sorry, folks. There are fish jumping in the water
Oh,
here.
they're flying
Look at
fish.
them. Are they?
Little flying fish, yes.
Ah,
Ah,
now they stopped.
Okay.
Oh well. Because I called attention to them.
you did. They didn't want to get eaten by the deer.
I was like, wow, that's interesting. Yes, so yes, the deer knocks it out of his hand,
Well, actually pulled it with his mouth.
and I'm watching this horrified, thinking, you're just going to let him have your beer?
Well, he had his tongue in it. I'm not going to take it back.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, he did kind of sneak up on you, and I saw it coming, and I just didn't have a chance to say, look out. So grabbed it out of your hand and put it on the ground.
Other people saw it coming because they were filming while I'm standing there. And then
I got
the deer,
a little bit, yeah.
The deer got a little bit, and he put it on the ground and licked it all up, and then ate the lemons.
Ate the lemons. I think that's what he
and
wanted
then
most. Yeah, and
licked
kept,
the,
and he wouldn't. He
licked
didn't
in the
want.
glass.
Did we get the cup back?
No.
Oh, he kept the cup.
Yeah.
Oh well. Same guy. The same
That-
same
the deer-
no antler guy.
The same deer that didn't have the antlers and was trying to get into the restaurants.
So that was the talk of the whole ferry. Did
Yeah.
you see that deer? Did you? He lost his beer.
It's a good thing we drank about half of it first.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a problem. So yeah, that was a really lovely day. If you're ever in Japan or around Hiroshima, definitely go to Miyajima. Go as early in the day as possible, because as we were coming, as we were leaving, holy cow, the crowd's coming in.
Yeah,
so.
we were able to get seats easily on the ferry, but when they came over midday, all the seats were full, standing room on the decks.
Yeah.
It was really crowded.
They do have a few hotels on the island, so if a person were going back, I think if you stayed overnight, probably have a nice evening between the time of the last ferry and, depending on how late things stay open. I suppose the restaurants might.
Restaurants, I mean, it seems like little restaurants they seem to be done around 9:30.
Yeah.
which is perfect for a little island like that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun for an overnighter.
Absolutely.
There's also hiking trails, so if you stayed more than a night,
Mm-hmm.
you can hike all the way up the mountain.
And there were other shrines to visit.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd go back in a minute.
Me too.
I'd get more soy sauce.
Well, of course you would. All right, so that wrapped up.
Japan. We left Japan. We've come and gone from Japan 3 times, and the immigration process is pretty stringent. They take it quite seriously. They want to see every single person.
Yes.
Yeah.
100. It's a 100% face-to-face inspection.
On both ends.
Yeah.
Not leaving and coming.
They
So
want to make sure you're not hanging around.
yeah, I guess.
We, as a result, we've got 3 different visas.
Using up all the room I made
for
passport.
I know. Lost a whole page on the visa page for these,
Yeah.
but it's
But
kind of fun.
they're kind. I mean, you know the process. You wait patiently. It moves. It's fine.
Okay.
So we went back to Korea, and we were in Busan,
Yes.
which is one of their bigger cities, and
Second, I think, to
next to Seoul, probably. Yeah. We chose a fun
Tea.
experience. It was a tea ceremony, which was
At a
really
temple.
cool. Yeah.
Held in a temple.
So we went to a Buddhist temple, and evidently some kind of festival. We must have just missed it because they had all kinds of lanterns hanging up outside. But by the time we were done, they were taking down the lanterns. So I was glad when I got pictures going in.
And it must have been something for good luck or happiness because of all the rice. There were just bags and bags of rice stuck.
As offerings.
As offerings all around.
Little pretty ones and big ones, the 40-pound
50-pounder,
bags. Yeah. But, of course, if you've ever looked at a rice bag, they're really gorgeous. I have some bags that are made out of that, and they're really tough material.
We tried to figure out what was going on, but there was a little bit of language barrier there, trying to get a real explanation of the ceremony and all. So we kind of missed out on any details with that, but we then went to the 3rd floor.
Yes, which is the 4th floor for us.
Okay, yeah.
And we see it's definitely a holy room, a big Buddha in the middle, lots of Buddhas. They said we could take as many pictures as we wanted. I was surprised. Tables set up for 2, lots of settings for 2. And then in the middle, there were cushions. So if you wanted to sit and do it in a more traditional way, you absolutely could. Pro tip, never sit. Always get the chair.
It was interesting watching all the people trying to get up after squirming, but then standing up after everything was over.
Because these things are longer than you think they're going to be, and we're just not used to sitting that long.
Yeah, everything is so intricate. Learning to warm the cups.
Yes.
Let the water cool to like
80,
90 Celsius, 80 or 90 for green tea. And and the things were set up for right-handed people.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to do with the right. Hold on one second. Our screen. There we go. We're back.
So you had to measure the tea into the teapot. And you had to warm the cups.
Had to warm everything, and then you take that warming water, and that becomes it's cooled enough by then to be the steeping water. And so you take the lid off the teapot, and of course there's a special stand as part of this just to put that lid on.
This gets, everything has a purpose and everything. So it was really a lovely, lovely experience. So there was enough tea in there, and they gave us as much hot water as we wanted. Our tea leaves lasted just fine. I think we had 4 pots. 4
cups each. Yeah.
No, I thought we refilled it several times.
Okay, at least 4.
Yeah. Wonderful, very tasty. And then we also had little tea treats.
Yes.
One looked like it was a really dark chocolate. Nah.
No, it wasn't chocolate.
It was the red bean paste, but it was like a jelly.
It was like a jelly, yes.
I didn't care for that one.
Red bean jelly.
Right. There was another red bean thing, loved very much. And then there was another that
Puff.
looked like
Like a Rice Krispie puff.
except it looked like it was going to be solid, but it wasn't.
No.
And it was good too. Everything was wonderful. The ladies, we had ladies that came around and helped us. They were all dressed traditionally, beautiful. There was a lady at the front who was our tea
master.
And she would tell us, and then the guide would interpret what she was saying. And she came around too and made sure we were doing things right. They took our pictures.
I messed up once. I got corrected though.
He had the little tea towel upside down.
But I was doing that on purpose for the photograph. Mm-hmm. The towel read tea. Mm-hmm. And so it was facing us, but when they took the photo, I turned it around so it would say tea towards the camera.
So you knew the iconography? You knew that it said tea? How did you know that?
Because we've seen it on tons of stuff.
I had to pick that up.
All right. So that's why I knew I wanted to turn it around.
Uh-huh.
Well, I knew more it was up, what side was up.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Whatever it said, I wanted it presented to the camera right side up.
Sure.
So you'll be able to read it yourself.
And then after the tea ceremony, we had a guided meditation, which was lovely. Only 10 minutes.
Only 10 minutes.
I got into a good Zen state because I was seated in a chair. Had I been on the floor, might not have.
So it was a little easier to keep your back straight.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It was lovely.
And I practiced my mantra, may all living things be well and happy.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll have more about that mantra in an upcoming episode.
Sure. Then we piled in the bus. They took us to a fish market. We peeled off and found an ATM and got about $40 worth of Korean money. Just, to be able to pick up a magnet or a postcard.
And a bottle of Bordeaux to take back to the ship.
As one does.
As one does. You get thirsty after all these trips.
Yeah, it was a lovely day. I liked Busan very much. I really liked the temple. It was a good experience. Anything with tea in it, I'm all in now. I'm a teaphile.
Fish market was interesting, but it was late in the day, and it was definitely getting flavorfully smelling.
I was going to say that, I don't think I'm big on a fish market anymore.
After you've done, I still got to take you to the big Suzuki market in Tokyo.
Wow, and tomorrow we're doing a big fish experience.
We are.
Stay tuned. Big fish experience.
With a big tuna. But that's all we're going to say about that.
You said more than I would have. So,
okay. And it's a teaser.
Yeah, exactly. So that was our day in Miyajima and Busan. And
they were wonderful. We'd had some long days where we'd had 2-hour bus rides in each direction.
And
so
the Great Wall, 5 hours in each direction.
5 hours, yeah. Oh.
But, these days were lovely, and we were able to pick up some nice mementos to take home. So, our postcard today is of the floating Torii Gate, and I found this postcard there, and I just thought, oh, that's just perfect.
It's lovely.
Yes, very artistic. So, who should we send this to?
That's a good question. Have we sent anything to the June and?
No, that's perfect. Yes, let's send it to June and Karen, who live in Maryland, and
yes, I think that's it.
Think about them a lot on this trip. Yes, they will. Yes, it's beautiful. So, thinking of you guys. Anybody wants a postcard? So I haven't heard from anybody. So postcardtoday@gmail.com. Just ask.
Alrighty.
We're running out of days, so you better.
Yeah, get ready. We're home in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to put up.
Yeah. All right. It's been great. We will talk to you soon. Today, now we're back in Japan, but yes, We have a few more days in Korea, and then
No,
yeah.
no more Korea.
We went after that. We went to Incheon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
you're talking about episodes.
Yes, yes.
All right,
We went
I
to
misunderstood.
Incheon
And Jeju Island.
Jeju Island.
And yes, and just as a heads up, if you have Apple TV, look for the women divers of Jeju. Jeju.
I'll put up the actual name of the
Okay.
documentary. It's slightly different. Wonderful documentary.
Yep. We'll
So,
say more about it
say no
next
more.
episode.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.